At the tail of the tape, and of course what's going to jump out is the height advantage that Price has. It always does. That and the fact that he is 11 pounds heavier, and the reach, 82.5 compared to 74 that Price has. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the ref can stop the fight. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. And the fight is official after 4 rounds. Let's officially meet these heavyweights and Joe Antonacci.
Boxing fans, here we go. Main Events Pelts Boxing, in association with DeBella Entertainment, present our main event of the evening. Our main event, 10 rounds of action in the heavyweight division. Our main event judges, Debbie Barnes, George Hill, Joe Pasquale, and our main event referee, Earl Brown. Boxing fans, here we go. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to us tonight from the panhandle of Florida. Pensacola is the city. He weighed in at 240 pounds, blue trunks, white trim. Professional record, 14 victories, only 1 defeat, 6 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome Kelvin. Price is right. Price. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He comes to us tonight from Wilmington, Delaware. He weighed in at 229 pounds, red trunks, black trim, professional record, a perfect 19 victories, no defeats, 14 of his 19 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome Amir Hardcore Mansour. Earl Brown has our fighter's final instructions.
Amir, Kelvin, I expect a clean professional fight. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up.
10 rounds. Heavyweights.
Mansour has never lost. Price's only loss last December to Deontay Wilder. He bounced back with the victory, and now it is underway.
And 2 things that jump at you immediately, Kenny, are the height and reach of Kelvin Price. He's 6'7" to the 6'1" of Amir Mansour. Mansour's a southpaw. He's got that right foot forward, all the power and all the weight back on his left leg. So it's going to be interesting to see which fighter makes the adjustment first. Normally, the taller guy has the quicker time to making the adjustment, and it's the shorter guy who's got to find his range. But Kelvin Price going to have to let his hands go.
Mansour not wasting any time trying to get inside there briefly.
Good right hand by Price, good body shots by Mansour. Very important for Kelvin. You see he's got kind of that herky-jerky style. It's kind of awkward. His left hand's up. He'll put it down. He'll flick that jab out there. It takes a second to get a beat on that, and it's kind of tough to stand on the outside with it. You got to get in close to him and negate his reach, and you know, don't let him fight his fight, Kenny. See both guys coming to the ring in great shape. You like seeing that nowadays in the heavyweight division.
For more on Mansour, let's check in with Chris.
Guys, Amir Mansour told me he wouldn't wish 1 day in prison on anyone, but Mansour did put the 8 years he spent locked up on a drug charge to good use. In prison, Mansour hooked up with Calvin Davis, a former lightweight prospect who was also serving time there. Davis became Mansour's unofficial trainer. He did pad work with him using makeshift leather pads. He found opponents by walking around the yard challenging guys Mansour's size. Davis would bring him to a 10-by-10-foot closet that was nicknamed Saigon for the violence that went on in it. Mansour knows his mistake cost him most of his career, but he feels that everything he could to make the most of it.
Thank you for that story, Chris. Chris spent a lot of time talking with Mansour. Very interesting guy.
And I had a great time talking with him, too, in the fighter meetings. He's very refined. You know, you wouldn't expect that from a guy who's done the amount of time that he's done, but he said, listen, I learned my lesson, and I'm here now, and I want to take advantage of the fullest of my opportunities. Good right hand by Price right there.
And meanwhile, that's what Price was saying yesterday, too. Don't forget, I fought some pretty good guys myself. I'm 14-1 with 6 KOs.
He's beaten some decent guys. He's beaten Torhammer. He's beaten a couple other guys who are Stacy Frazier, kind of tough guys who are journeyman-type fighters. But, you know, Kelvin Price has been fairly impressive against all of them. His one blemish, a knockout loss to heavyweight prospect Deontay Wilder, and, you know, a lot of people are anointing him as the next big guy in the heavyweight division. So nothing to hold your head up. Good right hook by Amir right there. And that's something that Mansour is going to have to do if he wants to be successful. Time Kelvin Price on his way in, because it's going to be difficult for him to stand on the outside and pot shot him. Whenever Kelvin Price is coming in and committing on that jab, he needs to come with his overhand left or his right hook.
Final seconds, round 1. Mansour and Price. Heavyweights scheduled for 10. Round 2 scheduled for 10 heavyweights here in the main event. Amir Mansour in the red, Kelvin Price in the blue.
Good right hand from Price right there. You see him using that left hand. Price got to be careful not to engage in those tight exchanges like that.
Well, that's what Mansour loves, because he can strike quickly and effectively. Witness the 14 KOs and 19 victories.
And you see Price, when Mansour got close to him, he tied him up, he got underneath his gloves, he got both of his arms to make sure that Mansour couldn't punch in there. But a veteran move by Mansour. You see Price sticking out his left hand, and Mansour is actually trying to punch on the back part of the arm, the elbow, to you know, discourage him from using that lead left hand.
Larry Hazard scoring that first round for Price.
Good work by Mansour in there. You can tell Price isn't comfortable being on the inside like that, and that's where Mansour can really get a lot of work done. Price has got to stay on the outside, use that jab, use that straight right hand. Mansour in the southpaw stance, he's open for it.
Price is 6'7", Mansour is 6'1". Price about a 7-inch reach advantage as well on him.
Now, instead of standing right in front of Mansour and posturing, he's got to make sure he lets his hands go, because when they get inside like this, that's Mansour's geography where he wants to be for the fight. And this fight's all about geography. When you're on the outside, Kelvin Price is probably going to be getting the upper hand. When you're on the inside, Mansour is going to be getting on the upper hand, and probably a pretty high chance of scoring a knockout, because he is a big puncher. You see Kelvin pushing off that left jab, just kind of using it to distract Mansour, trying to set up the straight right hand. That's the punch and the left hook that you want to try to land against the southpaw. And Amir's kind of staying on that back foot. Nice movement by Amir there.
You see Amir coming through with the right and then left to the body.
And for a second, Amir switched into the orthodox stance, and it kind of confused Price for a second. He's now back in the southpaw stance, but he switched up, landed a big overhand right, caught him on the gloves. Price held on, and now back to the southpaw stance. But you see Amir's intentions. All of his punches have bad intentions on him. He's not looking to go the distance in this fight, Ken.
And he's going to the body now. The tall, lanky body of Price, lanky compared to the shorter, muscular Mansour, at least. Both these guys, like you talk about, coming in here in very good condition. They know what's at stake in this fight for both guys.
Yeah, both guys are very game, but Price has got to be careful when he's on the inside, not to stand with his chin straight up. He's got to get tucked. He's got to get his chin behind that shoulder. He's in danger when he's standing straight up of the Amir Mansour left hand.
Mansour with the left. Final seconds, round 2. Action continues to heat up.
Hey, touch him to the body, touch him up and down and up, okay? You got faster hands than him, baby. Yeah, that's all right. He tried to play game, that's all right. You got the reach. Trust in your reach, baby.
Indeed, he does have the reach. That's Kelvin Price's corner. Price in the blues. We start round 3 against Mansour in the red. Chris Mannix telling us that the referee warning both corners between rounds there about holding on too much. He's going to take a closer look if it happens again. Good exchange right now early.
You see both guys, Kenny, are in good shape. Both guys have good hand speed. Mansour is definitely the bigger puncher, but Price is starting to you know, show some signs of life here in this third round. He came out flicking some jabs out there, some straight right hands, and he's trying to get it going here and take over control of this fight.
And Larry scoring that last round for Mansour. Let's check in with Chris.
James, this has become kind of a slugfest. Is this Kelvin's kind of fight?
Nah, it's not his fight. What I want him to do is stay on the end of his punches, trust in his speed, and move out the way.
He hasn't been able to use that side to his advantage yet. How does he need to do it?
Stay on the outside and be patient. Wait on him to come in.
Thanks, James.
Don't punch, don't punch. Both of you guys, watch your heads, please.
All right, thanks, Chris.
Right.
You see a smart move from Kelvin Price right there. He was in the corner. When they clinched, he spun around and went right back to the middle of the ring. Good ring generalship there by Kelvin Price.
Don't hold him, don't hold him, don't hold him.
And that's where he needs to be, right there. See his lead left foot? You want it to be outside the lead right foot of Amir Mansour. Stay in range to land his right hands, flick those jabs out there, take control, and limit the offensive attacks of the hearted punching Mansour. Smart veteran move there. He's putting his hand out there, and Mansour's kind of knocking it away and showing him, listen, I'm going to hit you in the back of the elbow. Good left hand by Mansour, kind of stuck it in there.
Mansour spins him around, gets a right in, tries to work the body.
And I'm quite sure Price isn't used to having anybody hit the back of his elbow whenever he sticks that lead hand out there. Most guys just take it and say, okay, listen, what are you going to do next? Mansour was proactive and said, listen, I'm not having that. And I like what I'm seeing from both guys. You can tell both guys are still in the third round of this fight, still trying to instill their game plan. You know, Kelvin Price is trying to stay on the outside. Mansour is making efforts to come in. The rhythm of the fight really hasn't been set up yet, and neither fighter's taking control. Larry had 1 round apiece after 2, so I like those kind of fights, Kenny.
Glad to have Ray Boom Boom Mancini visiting us as he did the last round, the last fight. And you'll see that powerhouse documentary about his life, The Good Son, coming up right after fight night here on NBCSN. Final seconds of round 3. Both guys still trying to see who's going to take control first. And they're swinging away here near the end of the round. For heavyweights, our main event as round 4 begins. The 6'7" Kelvin Price in the blue against Amir Mansour, 41 years of age in the red, who has yet to lose, 19-0 as a pro. Here we are at the Resorts Casino and Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Glad you could join us tonight. It's been a battle of wills so far. Unofficial scoring from Larry Hazard last round to Mansour, putting him up 2-1 right now on Price. So you mentioned it perfectly in the last round, BJ, about each guy still trying to establish themselves, how they want this fight to go. Mansour trying to get more inside now.
Yeah, he is, and he's doing a good job so far in this round. He landed a good right hook. A good right hook on Kelvin Price a second ago, and that's got Price holding on a little bit. But you see the demeanor of Mansour. At the beginning of this 4th round, he was already in the center of the ring. That's a mental tactic as well as showing, hey, listen, I'm ready to fight. I can't wait to get at this guy. The referee actually had to hold him back at the beginning of this round, and he's came out in the 4th round fighting in that type of spirit. But you see it, you know, some fighters, sometimes they come out of the corner, they stay in the corner their entire time. Mansour was already in the middle of the ring waiting, and he showed that, you know, he's ready to do some good work in this round, which he has done.
Let's check in with Chris, more on Mansour.
Guys, a street fight on the inside is exactly Mansour's kind of fight. I mentioned the 10-by-10-foot closet in prison Mansour used to fight in. Mansour told me that he has become so conditioned to fight in close quarters that when he fights in the ring, it feels like he's on a football field.
And it's feeling that way now for Price. Good right by Mansour, who has more than doubled up on the power punches.
And Kenny, those punches didn't really land that clean, but just the physical strength and the momentum of Mansour was backing Price up. So, got a shot in the back of the head there. I don't think he did it intentional, but definitely got to keep an eye on that. But the pressure of Mansour is starting to get to Kelvin Price a little bit.
Mansour measuring him off now and landing a right and trying to go to the body of Price.
And this is the area in the geography of the ring where Mansour has to be successful. You saw him land a good overhand right, a good overhand left. Nice punch, big left hand by Mansour.
That stunned him. Price is in trouble. Mansour trying to finish this fight here in the 4th round.
He's got Price in a lot of trouble here, Kenny.
Price is wobbly. Price is trying to hang on.
He's swinging for the fences here with that overhand right. He wants a highlight reel knockout, and he might just get it.
Mansour has him against the ropes. And Price holds on so far.
Price showing a lot of heart to hang on here, Kenny. He's
Mansour
in bad
again.
shape.
Mansour is relentless. Price resilient.
Good body shot by Mansour.
Mansour's most dominant round.
Looks like Price is going to get out of this round. Kenny, see if they can revive him in between rounds.
One more shot for Mansour at the bell. Price survives the round. It looked like Mansour had him out. But Kelvin Price somehow staying.
Stand still. Yeah, you cannot stand still, man.
Another look at it, PJ.
Let's talk about this shot. Beautiful, beautiful punches by Mansour. You see him land an overhand left, kind of on the top of the head. But that shot, he got Kelvin Price in position. He landed a beautiful shot. And once he hurt his man, Kenny, he went in for the kill and continued to inflict damage on Kelvin Price.
About the holder, but
and it was that shot there that looked like this was over. Price somehow managing to stay up as Mansour went right after him.
Grit and determination. Kelvin Price refused to let this fight end. But, you know, Mansour is very heavy-handed, and it's amazing that Kelvin Price is able to take a lot of those punches. Let's see what happens in the beginning of this next round. But you could tell in the demeanor of Mansour at the beginning of the last round. He wanted to fight, and he wanted to fight now. And he proved that in that last round. Let's see how they revive Price in the corner in those 60 seconds.
Mansour's already out there waiting as this round starts. Round 5 is scheduled for 10.
And it's important for Mansour to come right back out and put the heat on Kelvin Price here, because it's impossible for Price to have recovered in those 60 seconds. He's still feeling it from the effect of the punch from the last round.
And Mansour tries to get him against the ropes. Price comes back with counter-punching.
Good right hand by Price.
Last round, of course, to Mansour, scored by Larry Hazard.
And just because there wasn't a knockdown doesn't mean it can't be a 10-8 round. Price is in a lot of trouble, and Larry Hazard saw that and respected that and scored a 10-8, which I would have too on my scorecard.
And Mansour got off balance and slipped. He's right back up. That was a slip.
It's very important for Kelvin Price here to stay in the middle of the ring. Still regain his composure. He's still in a lot of trouble here. The cobwebs have not been cleared yet. So use that jab, use upper body movement, give himself another 45 seconds to a minute to kind of regain his composure, and then re-engage in the last part of this round.
Let's check in with Chris. The ref had some things to say to Price after the round, Chris.
Guys, the referee is concerned with how Kelvin Price is holding out there. Says if he does it any more times, he's going to take away a point.
Let it go. Let it go.
All right, thanks for that. Power punches in this round. Price has landed some of his own. But the biggest punches in that last round, the 4th round, where it looked like Mansour was ready, had Price on the ropes. A powerhouse of a left that wobbled him but did not knock Price down. So he's still here. He's still going.
Listen, to be honest, Kenny, I don't think the holding in the last round was, I don't think it was anything crazy. I mean, the guy was hurt. That happens in heavyweight fights. It didn't seem like it was too intentional. It's just normal things you see in a heavyweight fight. Good punches by Mansour, working up and down. And Kelvin Price needs to be careful. He's fighting a southpaw guy, but he's shifting to his right side, right in range of the overhand left, and that's a big no-no when you're fighting a guy with heavy hands like Amir Mansour. He needs to move the other way. Kelvin Price needs to move to his left, away from the left hand of Amir Mansour. That's really the punch that is having the most effect on Kelvin Price, that overhand left.
And Price, the 6, maybe 7-inch taller fighter than Mansour. Mansour said he's fought tall guys before. He's not impressed. That's not going to worry him.
That's a big shot by Mansour.
And he's down. Price is down. He couldn't hold on that one. Mansour in round 5 has knocked down Price.
And Price is still in trouble here, Kenny. You saw his legs, how they reacted. Mansour knows he's got a hurt opponent, and look for him to swing for the fences here.
And he charges in. Final seconds of this round.
Price might get out of this round
again.
A lot of determination by Price here, Kenny. Unbelievable.
And once again, Kelvin Price has survived. Amir Mansour knocking Price to the canvas. Takes the count. He's still going. Can Mansour finish him off?
There, right, go.
Let's go. Come on, suckers, let's go.
Kelvin Price continues to hang on. Almost finished off 2 rounds ago. Was knocked down in the last round. But here he is, entering the bell in round 6. It is scheduled for 10. And Amir Mansour once again sensing his opponent in trouble. He was right out there in the middle of the ring, ready to go, BJ, as you pointed out 3 rounds ago.
And that's as much of a mental tactic as it is the same type of dog mentality that Mansour has. He cannot wait to get to his guy. He can't wait to close the show. He's trying to do it the right way, and you know, so far he's been pretty impressive, Kenny. One thing you can't say about Mansour is he can't punch. He's definitely got heavy hands.
And of course, you saw Larry's scorecard with the knockdown. It was a 10-8 round, that last round for Mansour. Let's check in again with Chris.
Moses, he's been so close twice to knocking Kelvin out. What do you want to see from him here?
I want to see him work his body more and hit him over top. Make him think he's going to the body and hit him over top.
Both guys look a little tired up there. How's Amir's conditioning?
Yeah, he's getting this line. He's working hard because the boy's holding a lot, too.
Thanks, Moses.
Mansour has only been beyond the 6th round twice in his career. Price has been there 8 times in his career.
Beautiful counter right hook by Mansour, and you know what? He is getting a little sloppy in these rounds, but this is all a learning experience. It's only his 20th fight, and in heavyweight terms, that's not the most, you know, compared to some of the guys who are, you know, 27, 28-0, 29-0 before they challenge for a world title. So Amir's still learning in there, and he will learn a lot from a fight going deeper in the rounds like he is with Kelvin Price. And, you know, a lot of heavyweights, a lot of American heavyweights, I'm talking about Deontay Wilder and, you know, Brian Jennings and guys like that, Chris Arreola, Luis Ortiz, they're going to look at a guy like Amir Mansour and say, hey, I can outbox this guy, but he is very heavy-handed, and that power is something that can't be taught.
Price has won 8 of his 14 fights by way of decision. So we know he can stand up. We've seen him take some incredible punches, and still keep going here.
Yeah, but if I'm in the corner,
he's so far behind now in the score.
If I'm in the corner of Price, I'm going to take a real good look at my fighter in between this round. Do I want to save him and maybe let him to fight another day, or do I want to let him go out on the shield? I mean, he's not looking like he's not responding the way you'd want a fighter to respond. He's trying to get back into the fight. If he has another round like the previous 2 rounds, and if I'm his corner, I might look to stop the fight.
Mansour, meanwhile, continues to look for that one more punch. Reminder coming up, the great documentary, it really is very, very good, isn't it, about the good son, Ray Mancini. That's on NBCSN right after fight night.
Ray Mancini, one of my favorite fighters when I was growing up. Very tough, very hard-nosed, and it was a pleasure having him sit in on the last couple rounds.
They love him, all ages kept coming up to him, wanting pictures and to shake his hand. The round counts down.
To that, Kelvin Price kind of leaning forward, getting caught with that big right hook. Another good left hand by Mansour, falling in on the clinches, and it costed him there, Kenny.
As we go to round 7, this one's scheduled for 10. Back in the 5th round, Mansour knocked Price down. He almost finished him off in the round before that. But here's Kelvin Price now as you look at the unofficial scoring from our own Larry Hazard, and it's all Mansour since that first round.
Yeah, it has been, and Mansour hurt his guy in the 5th and the 6th rounds. I'm sorry, the 4th and the 5th rounds. Kelvin Price kind of came back and gave himself a chance to get back into this fight on that last round, and it's up to Mansour to regain control of this fight here in the 7th round.
This is only the 3rd time that Mansour has gone past the 6th round. Of course, most of the time he's been finishing guys off quicker than he's able to in this fight.
Big left hand by Mansour a second ago, followed it up with another overhand left, and Price,
another nice short left.
Price actually responded a little better to those 2. And Price outside, he's got to get back in this fight. I have him down 4 or 5 rounds on my scorecard. He's got to be offensive out there. He's only 10 rounds, so he's only got 3 rounds after this round. If he wants to win, he's got to start working letting his hands go. Good right hand by Kelvin Price.
Perhaps his best power punch was right there.
Caught him, and Amir Mansour showed a good chin right there. He took that punch well and comes back, you know, trying to put Kelvin Price in a little bit of trouble.
And again, he charges right back at Price.
You see the demeanor of Mansour. He takes a big punch, and maybe it's not pretty, but he's getting right back in his face, letting him know, hey, listen, I'm right here. You didn't hurt me. But you know, you got a big punching heavyweight like Mansour, you got a 6'7" guy like Kelvin Price. It creates for a lot of interesting matchups with heavyweights in America, and I think that's what people want to see. In a country where everyone talks about heavyweight boxing is dead, hey, maybe it's not completely dead after all. You got some big punches here tonight, big tough. Good work by Mansour there, getting a little sloppy.
Mansour makes it a brawl right now along the ropes.
And you see Mansour loading up for that big overhand right, that showstopper punch. If he would just let his hands go and work the body here.
That's the right. He's down. Price is down.
And this fight needs to be over, Kenny. Price in a lot of trouble. This fight needs to be over. Mansour is tired. This fight needs to be over.
Price is back up. Second time he's been knocked down.
This fight needs to be over.
Wants to take a look. He wants to take a look at Price before he lets
Price
it go
in
on.
bad shape here.
Final seconds. Mansour comes back in. Price is holding on again as he staggers to his corner for the third time in this fight. Price has been able to survive a round. For the second time, he has been knocked down.
And at this point, the doctor needs to do the right thing here, Kenny, and step in and stop the fight. Beautiful short overhand left by Mansour. Continues to let his hands go work the body. And you see another clipping punch here in a second that does a lot of damage to Kelvin Price. Using his physical strength, blowing the taller guy against the rope. Big punch there. And here it is. That's the shot right there. A cupping right hook to the temple area. Looks like this fight's over. All over.
This is it. It's over.
And that's a good call by the corner of Price. Let their fighter...
Price is not going to answer the bell. The doctors have stopped this fight. The doctors came over and took a look and said no more. As you look at Kelvin Price knocked down twice in this fight, staggering back to the corner after that last knockdown just before the end of the round. And the doctors have stopped it. And Amir Mansour has gone to 20-0 in his career.
And that's the right call there, Kenny. The doctor came in and made the right decision. Kelvin Price was damaged. He was hurt in 3 of the last 4 rounds. And, you know, that was the right move there. A lot of credit to Kelvin Price because he would have went back out there in that 7th round and tried to fight some more. So you got to give him credit for that. Credit to Amir Mansour for, you know, knocking out a tall guy who's got a couple good wins on his resume.
Price wanted to go out. The doctors stopped the fight. As you suggested that they do after that last knockout. That was a vicious knockout where he went through the ropes.
Yeah, he was. He's
knocked down.
His senses still weren't all there. You could tell. You could tell he was in a lot of trouble still. And you know it's a great win for Amir Mansour. You know, he's definitely got some things he needs to improve on. He got a little sloppy there at times, but you can't question his heart, his determination, or his power. And those are 3 very important aspects in this heavyweight division.
There's Kelvin Price. He took some strong shots tonight, but kept going and going till finally the doctor said no more after being knocked down twice in this fight.
We saw some great heavyweight action tonight, Kenny. We saw Darnell Wilson earlier upset David Rodriguez, a fighter who was 36-0. We saw Steve Cunningham put on a boxing clinic against Manuel Caseta. And now in the main event, Amir Mansour really seizing full advantage of this opportunity and knocking out Kelvin Price in spectacular fashion. I was very entertained tonight.
It was an entertaining night. The 15th win by way of knockout for Mansour. As he said earlier, if I didn't think I would be able to get a title shot, I wouldn't be here wasting anyone's time, much less my own. And he didn't waste any time finishing off Kelvin Price when he had the chance in this last round, because it did take a long time to get there. After almost in the 4th and almost in the 5th, let's get the official time on this decision and go back to Joe.
Boxing fans, before we go to the announcement, can we have a round of applause for these 2 warriors? And at the end of the 7th round, our referee, Earl Brown, called a halt to the contest. Your winner by TKO and still undefeated from Wilmington, Delaware, Amir Hardcore Mansour.
Mansour winning it. He knocked Price down in the 5th, and in the 7th, knocked him down. Earl Brown, the referee, conferred with the doctor. They would not let the fight go on. We take a look at the total punches landed in here. Mansour, 115 to 62. He hit on 42% of his total punches, did Mansour tonight. And in total jabs, Price did well early on. His best round was right at the start when he was able to get his jabs in. But it wasn't about jabs. It was about power night. And looking at power punches, 243 thrown, a 47% clip tonight for Mansour, who is standing by now with Chris.
Amir, this was pretty much a slugfest out there for most of this fight. Was this the kind of fight you wanted?
Of course, because he's so tall, man. Hard to get to him the way that I want to. So I said, you know what? I got so many different styles, man, that I could make it rough and rugged like that. And I know that these guys just not built like that no more. When you watch Bo Holyfield 1, Bo Holyfield 2, Hagler, Hearns, and all them guys fought wars. These heavyweights ain't fighting them type of wars no more. They not ready for it. And as you can see, he lasted a nice 6 rounds. He probably could have kept going, I don't know. But then again, he might have got flatlined and really hurt.
Let's take a look at some of the action starting in round 4. Tell us what you see during the 4th round.
Well, I'm basically trying to figure out a way to just get in. Try and get in on him. Right there, I landed a two nice overhand lefts. And when I touch you, I don't care who you are. You're gonna go down, or you're gonna go on flat feet, or you're gonna step in potholes. You're gonna react some type of way if I touch you.
Here's the first knockdown. What did you see during this?
Well, I saw he was gonna throw the left. I knew it was an easy counter right there, so that's what I did. Waited till he threw his, right hand and countered with my left. Either hand, I could hurt you. Either hand. People, they looking to run from my right hand, looking to run from my left hand. Listen, I can hurt you with my chest muscles if you hit them hard enough.
Here's round 7.
Round 7, I said, you know what? I'm gonna just keep putting the pressure on this guy and just try to get him out of there. And that's what I did. I didn't care what he hit me with. He caught me with a nice shot over here somewhere. I felt it, but like I said, if he ain't bring a 9mm or a shotgun into this ring, he wasn't gonna stop me.
Are you surprised he was able to stand up and continue through so much of your power shots?
No, because if you look at the fight with him and Wilder, look at the fight. Wilder hit him in the back of the head with a shot, and then he hit him with a shot that finished him. The ref should have stopped that fight, gave the man time to get his stuff together. So I didn't take that fight into consideration. And I know I hit 2-3 times as hard as Wilder, but I try and keep all my fights fair. I don't like fighting dirty or anything like that, so I don't go for the back of the head shots or low blows. I hit you in your face, you gone.
Thanks, Amir. Kenny?
All right, thank you, Chris. And as he alluded to, the only other man to defeat Kelvin Price was Deontay Wilder last December, and now Amir Mansour becomes the second tonight. And USS Steve Cunningham, who came back strong tonight in the heavyweight ranks with a victory earlier this evening, a dominating performance for him. And your thoughts on the performance of Mansour, who says he can, well, maybe with the chest muscle, he could knock a few guys down. I got to be honest, this guy is built.
No, I liked what I saw from Mansour. 3 things: grit, determination, power. He's got a lot of polishing up to do, but in the heavyweight division, power can take you a long way. You're going to have to, he is going to make you find out if you want to fight or not. He's got that old school mentality with guys like Deontay Wilder, Bermain Stavern, Luis Ortiz, a lot of guys like that. There's a lot of good names for him. And Mansour, looking forward to seeing his next fight.
Let's go to Chris now with Kelvin Price. Chris.
Kelvin, you showed a great chin out there tonight. Just didn't go your way. What happened?
I mean, hey, all hats off to him. Hey, I'm happy to be here as a basketball player. Hey, we a small camp. We not getting sparring for fights. But my last 10 fights, we ain't really had no sparring, maybe 1 day or 2 days. I mean, but, hey, we don't have a budget. We're not sponsored by big people because of my age. But, hey, I made it this far. He's a great fighter. My hat's off to him. Hey, I could have still went to doctor call a fight. You know what I'm saying? But if I ever had some great sparring, I would beat some people up in this game. But, hey, I'm coming in the ring, no sparring, no tossing and turning with people. So, hats off to me. I appreciate everybody who stood behind me, the people who helped me get here. But I'm happy with my performance. But if I ever have some sparring, some real sparring, hey, these fights will be completely different, more competitive, everything.
Thanks, Kelvin. Kenny?
All right. Thank you, Chris. Kelvin Price. He was tough hanging in there tonight. Knocked down in the 5th. Finally knocked down in the 7th. And it was stopped after that. Mansour remains undefeated. 20 wins, 15 now by way of knockouts.